And when he gets up there, you see him sitting there with no shirt on, which, sorry, Ethan Hawke, that's not you. That's a body double. No way your chest is that big. You know, you're pulling some Ted Danson stuff on here. You don't have a chest that big, Ethan Hawke. But anyhow,
pounds.
Yeah, that dude probably could bench for 300 pounds, But anyhow,
that was a big dude. If that was a Ethan Hawke, he's a big dude, because that was a big dude in that chair.
Yeah, no disrespect, Ethan Hawke, but that was a body double. But hey, dude sitting there with no shirt on, holding that belt with that mask on, was freaking menacing looking. What'd you guys think about that scene?
Yeah.
And you weren't, he tells him that he's going to be sitting there, but it's different when he walks up the stairs and he turns the corner and he's there. Or I guess he didn't turn the corner on that one. It was the camera panned over to it.
Yeah.
And when that camera pans over to it, I was just like, oh my gosh. Just without a shirt on, I don't know why it made it that much creepier to me.
Oh. All right, guys, it's our first show post Tennessee trip, post FrankenCon. We're going to do the Black Phone. How's everybody feeling, man?
I feel great.
Yeah, I feel really
I
good.
think we're finally caught up on sleep and
Good.
Fourth, yeah.
Man,
Glad
that
y'all had a good trip
home-
back too.
Yeah.
The drive home was brutal.
No, I bet it was.
Imagine if you'd had help, Josh. That would have been awesome, dude.
I did for the last 3 hours.
Not on
She
the way
made
back.
sure to reiterate whenever I mentioned that the other day that
That was on the way
she
there.
did help
Mom.
for the last 3
I
hours.
literally slept the entire way home. I'd wake up and be like, "Are you good?" "Yep, I'm fine." "All right, I'm going back to
I'm
sleep."
going back to sleep.
But I'm not kidding. As soon as we got home, he helped me unload the van and went straight to the bedroom and lay down and went to sleep.
Sure did.
Yeah,
I don't
I
blame
get
him.
Tired.
Yeah,
That's
I woke
got to
him
be a
up.
brutal drive, man.
I
That's gotta
woke
be.
him up for dinner, and he didn't get up for a minute, so I went back there again to wake him up again, and he's like, "Why didn't you wake me up?" I was like, "I did."
I don't even remember the first time.
Yeah,
Well,
And I barely ate.
yeah.
I went right back to sleep.
I know I'm dreading that 6-hour drive I've got here in a few days, but I got the car all ready today, so we're ready to ride. I'm ready to stick my toes in the sand for a few days. But before that, we're going to talk about Black Phone today, guys.
Mhm.
I had seen this movie before, but like I was telling you guys before we started recording, pretty sure that was before my CPAP days and I couldn't stay awake through a movie. So, but last night I watched it. Man, I fell in love with it, dude. What was y'all's first impression of it?
I thought it was amazing. And we kind of talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but just the whole concept is different. One thing, everybody talks about Ethan Hawke, but the little girl that plays Gwen,
Yeah.
astonishing. She did such a good job.
Yeah,
and,
she really
and so
did.
did Finn. I mean,
Yeah.
both those kids did great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the setting of it. Was it like the 70s or something like that? It was.
That's what
Yeah,
it looked
it
like.
was-
Yeah.
Supposed to be in the
Uh,
late 70s, and it had that kind of dirty, dingy, gritty kind of
Yeah.
film look to it
Mhm.
that made it look dated. And then the concept of what was going on, and we'll get more into it, later on. But we were kind of talking about that before we started recording. It was just a brand new concept for me, man. I hadn't seen any movies or books or anything that had this same thing going on. So, it was super unique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
really
the exact
was.
same thing.
Well, so I guess we'll just get into it. Tonight we're talking about the movie Black Phone. It's a supernatural thriller that proves you don't need endless jump scares and buckets of gore to create real terror. This movie is directed by Scott Derrickson and starring Ethan Hawke in one of the creepiest performances. The film mixes psychological horror, supernatural mystery, and an emotional coming of age story into one unforgettable ride. So Cade's not here, so I don't guess we got the cast, but we know Ethan Hawke's in it, and it was directed
Well-
by Scott Derrickson.
Yeah.
And if you guys know anybody else, let me know because we dropped the
Well,
ball on that.
I should have thought to pull up IMDb. I can pull it up here in a second, but it'll take me too long.
Well,
There's
regardless,
basically 3 main characters in it. And you've got Finney or Finn, he's
Yeah.
the main guy that kind of gets kidnapped, and then his sister Gwen kind of has a little bit of a gift of foresight, maybe a little bit, that he ends up getting some help from. And then, of course, you've got the grabber himself, which is Ethan Hawke, and he's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff. So I guess we'll just, we'll skip over the cast and all that good stuff, and we'll go straight to Josh and see what it done at the theaters.
All right. So in February of 2021, they had a budget of 16 to 18 million. And then it grossed 161.4 million globally. So it made a pretty decent amount of money.
As well it should. 'Cause this is
As
a
well
freaking
it
good
should.
movie.
It was a great movie.
All right. Audrey, what about that Rotten Tomatoes score?
Right. So for that, tomato meter 81%, popcorn meter was 88%. Critics 81% praised the film's suspense, atmosphere, Ethan Hawke's chilling performance as the grabber, and the emotional coming of age story. Audience enjoyed the tense, edge of your seat horror, strong performances, and the satisfying payoff at the end, making it one of Blumhouse's more popular recent horror films.
Shoot, I definitely loved it, man. Any movie that's set in the 70s and is filmed right, and I think this movie was actually filmed right because watching this movie, it feels like it was filmed a long time ago. Even though it's a modern movie, it feels like it was filmed back in the 70s.
And I actually have the cast pulled up at this point. The guy that plays Finney is played by Mason Thames. Gwen is his sister. She's played by Madeline McGraw. And then you've got Ethan Hawke as the grabber. A couple of other notable names that popped up in the movie was the grabber's brother, Terrence. He's Jeremy Davies. Oh, no. I take that back. Terrence was the dad, was Jeremy Davies. Then you had the detectives was E. Roger Mitchell and Troy Rudisill, I think. And then you've got Miguel Mora as Robin, the tough kid.
Yeah, that dude was cool. He beat the crap out of one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he did.
Well, I'll read the opening, and then we'll just get started on breaking this bad boy down. The movie opens in a quiet Colorado suburb during the late 1970s where kids ride bikes, play baseball, and live what appears to be a normal life. But underneath that peaceful small town atmosphere is fear. Children have been disappearing one by one, all believed to have been kidnapped by a mysterious serial killer known only as the Grabber. At this part of the movie, we meet Finney Shaw, a shy, intelligent teenager who struggles with bullies at school and an abusive alcoholic father at home. His closest friend is his fiercely protective younger sister, Gwen, who experiences strange psychic dreams that seem to reveal clues about the missing children. After narrowly escaping danger several times, Finney eventually becomes the grabber's latest victim and wakes up locked up in a soundproof basement with nothing but a dirty mattress and a disconnected telephone hanging on the wall. All right, let's start. Because you guys, everybody knows you guys do a true crime podcast when we're not doing this podcast. So I know you guys have probably covered cases with missing children and stuff like that. So what's your first takes on something like this where you got kids getting abducted and stuff like that? It just sets an eerie tone for me. What about you guys?
It's disturbing to me. I don't like it at all. It makes it very uncomfortable when you're watching these kind of movies.
Yeah.
So you immediately get that feeling, So it kind of just makes it hard to watch.
Kinda
which
like
I
a
guess is
trigger.
kind of So I guess that's kind of what the feeling they wanted from this movie probably was.
Yeah, and these types of movies and possession movies, I think, affect me the most. With possession, I think it's that fear of unknown, and it's just it's scary. It's truly scary. And then for the true crime like this, it's very realistic. It very well could happen. It happens every day, and so that just adds a whole nother twist of scare factor. For me, at least, when watching these.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or even
And,
for me, you watch these kids and their relationship and their relationship with their father, And sometimes that hits really close to home. I mean, me and my younger siblings were very close. We kind of had a rough childhood. And so when you connect to it on that level, again, it just adds that extra, just, I don't know, just, it just affects you differently.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
definitely sets the tone for the movie. I know that's true.
and you look at the setting of like the small town, it's not quite like everybody knows everybody, but you still get that small town feel. You know, you look at it being in the late 70s. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and basically, you know, we acted just like what these kids did. People walked to
Mhm.
school. You would ride the bus, you know, maybe to the elementary school or I guess if you're in high school, you can't drive yet. The high school was further away. So you'd ride the bus back to the elementary school and then you're going to walk home, which is another, you know, mile to half a mile away, something like that. You're by yourself a lot. A lot of the stuff that these kids were doing in this movie was completely normal. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, what's up with these parents? You know, you've got you've got somebody that's abducting these kids. You know, he's abducted several by the time that he gets to Finney. And I mean, people still like they're letting the kids walk back and forth to school
I thought the same
unsupervised.
thing. I really did. I was like,
I do understand that, but even some of the stories that we have covered, I mean, yes, the town gets scared and they may be a little bit more on high alert, but everybody also has the thought that it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to
right.
happen to me.
Yeah.
So you kind of get comfortable and you might for a couple of days, like, okay, I'm going to walk with my kid, but then nothing happens. So you get relaxed again and get back to the normal. And
Right. And, you know,
And
back then we didn't have the internet, you know, so
didn't
people
have Live
wouldn't read.
360.
Yeah, so people wasn't
yeah,
reading this stuff constantly, you know. Back then, all you knew about was what you'd seen on the news or what's
or in
going
the
on in your
newspaper.
town, you know, in the newspaper, maybe the town over, whatever. But it wasn't like this national news, so people weren't, you know, hip to this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, back then it was just like, oh, it ain't going, like you said, it won't happen to us because that happened over there, you know. It's you know. It was a
Mhm.
different world back then, you know, really.
Mhm.
That wouldn't
And
fly at all today. People today, kids, they would call school off. Kids wouldn't be leaving the house
oh
if all
yeah.
these
Mhm.
kids in one town would have went missing. So this is
And
one of those
something
things. This could have only happened back then, you know.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Something else that was going on is when the grabber was abducting these kids, with the exception for Robin, which was still out in the middle of a parking lot. As deserted as it might have been, it was still in the middle of the dark parking lot. The grabber was abducting these kids right on the doorsteps of people's yards,
What
man.
was that?
It's
Yeah.
storming
Thunder.
here.
I was,
Oh,
I was like,
is that thunder?
I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that's
ghost is acting up again.
Scared the crap out of me.
I
It was
wasn't expecting that
loud.
at all.
Yeah.
Edit.
Setting the scene.
But yeah, man, I mean, the grabber was taking kids right in people's yards. I mean, you had the dude that was riding his bicycle, you know, the mailman had just walked past him not 5 seconds before. These two girls had just walked past him and he kind of looked back and they was giggling, you know, and they
Yeah.
thought he, you know, and I mean, people were around. It was in the middle of the day. It's daytime. It's not dark. People's
Or
around.
even when the
And
kid escaped, I mean, they were literally in somebody's front yard with porch lights
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was nuts, man.
Yeah. Back then, people just mind their own business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
And
not
they
a good
really
thing.
did. I mean,
Yeah, and again, you hear it a lot in the real life true crime stories. A lot of them, there's a case that I want to cover where it's called what's it called? Um, bystander effect, to where people,
Mm.
somebody else will call, somebody else will deal with it. It's
Right.
not my problem. And so
Yeah.
they just ignore it. They hear things, they may see something, but they're like, it's not my business. Somebody else will take care of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that. We were going to work last week, and you know we go to work at like 4:30 in the morning, so it's dark. I'm going down the road, and right there on the side of the road, there's this huge black pallet just laying in the middle of the road. Right, so luckily I was going slow, and I just swerved around it. And Alicia said the same thing. She goes, "We need to call the police or something because somebody's going to wreck if they hit that. Because not only was it laying in the middle of the road, it was black." at night. So you didn't sit, you got up on the steps. But I was like, nah, somebody else will get it. So I was
Yep.
doing the same thing, but she ended up
Yep.
calling the dispatch place up here, and they were like, basically, what do you want us to do about it? I was like, well,
Yeah,
our
even they're
conscience is
passing
clear
the
at
buck.
least. Yeah. So, but I thought it was very interesting. This movie, I knew as soon as I started watching it that I was going to like it just because of the whole setting of the movie and
Yeah.
the baseball field and that Japanese or Chinese kid, whatever ethnicity he was, come up to him and told him how good his arm was and all that good stuff. And
And
then you see
even
him get snatched up. It was
yeah,
a good movie.
I really like the opening sequence too, where it was running the credits or whatever at the very beginning.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
almost reminded me of like the original American Horror Story, just that creepy, eerie blood
And
and
that music that was going behind it was
yeah,
just ominous, man. The
yes,
music in the background, golly.
yeah,
Well, let me tell you guys this, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Dazed and Confused, but it's one of my best movies of my entire generation. And the first opening scene was a complete ripoff of Dazed and Confused. They even used the same song that Dazed and Confused used when they were doing
Did
their
they
baseball
really?
sequence. Yeah, same song,
Oh, wow.
baseball sequence and everything. But hey, you do what you got to do if you're making movies,
Well,
But
that
anyhow.
just goes to show how you can take something that goes one way. It's like in a comedy, like in Days Confused, and you put it in this horror setting. And what is funny in one movie is it just sets you on edge in another movie. And it's all with how all of that stuff is shown and depicted and acted out and all that.
Yeah, no doubt. So, is there anything else we need to cover about the first part of the movie? Because it does a lot of character building in it. We find out that Finn is a good kid, but he gets picked on a lot, and he needs to. We find out that he needs to learn how to take up for himself and stuff like that. But
He
again,
had to get his best friend Robin to help him out.
yeah, we see how bad Robin is. What do you guys think about that fight
Yeah.
scene between Robin and that
Shoot,
one
yeah,
kid?
man.
That was a good scene. He gave those boys every bit of what that boy every bit of what he needed.
Well, I
And what
promise
kind
you,
of
he don't say
bully?
nothing to him again. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
What kind of bully is named Moose?
Back in the 70s, there was probably some mooses around.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Well,
And
and Moose was only the top kid because the pinball kid got took.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The pinball kid was the one that was the bad dude there, and I think he might have got abducted first or something, or maybe
I think so.
I
a
think
while
you're right.
back.
Yeah.
Was he first? I can't remember, but he seemed like an older kid, man. I don't know why he wanted to abduct him.
So in the paper or whatever, the missing kid or whatever, it said that the Korean kid was 17. So I'm
really?
assuming that the pinball kid, he was probably 16 or 17 as well. I
He
think
just had a
all of them
rougher
were.
life.
Yeah.
So these kids are not middle schoolers; they're in high school then.
Yeah.
Because
Sounds
if he's
mean,
playing baseball against
Finney-
Korean kids, they had to be around the same age.
Well, Finney's dissecting frogs, and you don't get to that until freshman year, so he's at least in high school. I never went
Yeah.
to no 8th grade that ever did anything like that, so I assumed that they were in high school.
Yeah, well, you went to Inglewood Elementary. That's not saying much, man.
That's true. That was
Yeah.
Inglewood Elementary was one step up from a juvenile detention center. That's
Yeah.
what Inglewood Elementary was.
Yeah, there was no way they were cutting us loose with scaffolds running around somewhere.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening.
All right. Well, if there's nothing left we need to go over in the first of the movie, we'll jump on into the middle. And Finney desperately searches for a way out. Are we already into the kidnapping here?
Well,
So
we
they're-
ain't really
Yeah,
talked about Finney getting kidnapped yet. We just got to him being bullied and everything.
Yeah.
Robin kind
I
of helped him
kind of
out.
considered the kidnapping. That would be when the middle of the movie started, but I guess that is the first of the movie, him getting kidnapped. So
Yeah.
yeah, we need to
Pretty
talk
much the
about that a
first
little bit.
third anyway.
Because you
Yeah.
also have to where the first time they were walking home that first Friday, and she's like, I'm going to Susie's. You've got to take care of Dad. And he goes home and he takes care of Dad. And you kind of see, again, that dynamic of their family.
Mm-hmm.
You see him kind of being the caregiver of everybody. Gwen, I like Gwen. I really liked
Yeah, I
she was
did
a
too.
Spitfire. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really liked
And
her.
then she called the police a mother effing
Yeah.
fart
Yeah, she
knocker.
did.
A mother
Yeah.
effing fart knocker.
Dude kicked her in the face, and she got
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
hit dude in the
Tough.
head with a rock.
She
was
sure
not
did. She
playing.
split his wig.
Yeah.
That was so
And
funny.
then she like looks over him and he looks over her. They were both leaned up against the fence. They were like, "I'm done." You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to set this next round out.
I've got brain damage now. Thank you.
Yeah. But I think it just really showed her character. And that's kind of when you start seeing her dreams too. And
Mm.
kind of, I think we
Yeah.
talked about, I don't remember if it was before we recorded or not, but I think one of the most heart wrenching scenes is when the dad is beating her for the cops showing up to his place of work, and he makes her say, my dreams aren't real, and even though she's doing as he's saying, you can tell like she's still fighting back and drops his vodka on the floor because he won't stop.
Yeah,
And I was
she
just
was
like,
pissed
yeah,
off.
girl, yeah.
Yeah. Out of this whole movie, that was the roughest scene for me, anyhow. But I don't like that stuff. But that's just the way it was. I guess they
Yeah.
have to show that kind of stuff. But that was the hardest scene for me to watch in this movie. I didn't enjoy that at all.
No.
But sometimes when you watch a horror movie, they are unsettling. So that was definitely a moment I didn't enjoy in the movie. But so we go on. What was the kid that beat up? You say his name was Robin?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Robin.
So Robin gets grabbed, and we don't find him. And then we follow Finn home one day, and his sister does her normal Friday thing. She says, "I'm going to so and so's house to stay," and we see Finn, do his normal routine. I'll take care of Dad. I'm gonna. And he's walking on home. Then we see the black van sitting there. And then we see what we now know is the grabber come out, and he drops his groceries on the ground. And, back nowadays, if that happens, the kid's going to walk on by and keep walking.
Yep.
But back then, he's going to stop and help because, that's just the way, that was the world they lived in back then. Somebody dropped something, you help them pick it up. And I guess this guy's a magician or something like that. And I wish one thing I wish they would have done with this movie is went into his background a little more, because unless I missed something, and that's what I'm hoping, unless I've missed something, they don't really tell you much about, because they just a magician. That to me, that's creepy anyhow. So my mind goes a million different ways of what this dude could be doing. Yeah,
and I will say it almost makes it creepier though, not knowing his background, because you really don't know why he's kidnapping these kids. You don't know what he's doing, where he's coming from.
That is
And
true.
to me, it was almost scarier because you have
it
no
was like
idea.
he was just always there.
Yeah.
Anytime a kid was by themselves, it just
He
seemed
just
like he
showed
was
up.
always there.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying, because like when we cover the killers and stuff on our podcast, like when you listen to the character building of how they became who they became, you almost become sympathetic for the kid that they were.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this movie, if they would have done that, it may have taken away from the scare factor a little. So maybe that's what they waited for the second movie for. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
That's an interesting point. I remember the
Yeah.
episode you guys done over Ted Bundy. You guys discussed that a little bit because he had a rough childhood, and you guys talked about maybe that's one of the things that kind of steered him in the direction he went. And that's where you get into the psychology of stuff, and that interests me a lot. It really does.
Yeah.
Especially with as weird as it sounds, serial killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so he pulls out a big old bunch of black balloons, and again, weird. If you see a bunch of black balloons together and a bunch of red balloons together, that just freaks me out. But then he shoots this stuff in his mouth. What did he shoot in his mouth? Does anybody know? And it obviously made him pass out.
To knock
It
him
must
out.
have been nitrous oxide or something like that, because it looked like a medical grade canister.
And then he kept asking him about his eyes, like, "Can you see okay?" So I wonder, I guess just a side effect from it, maybe?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, we need to look that up. But so Finn gets grabbed, and he wakes up on a dirty mattress in a basement, nothing around, and there's a single old black phone hanging on the wall. And I guess now this will be what we would call the middle of the movie. So Finn wakes up, and he says he desperately searches for a way out. Something impossible begins to happen. That disconnected phone starts ringing, and on the other end, are the voices of the grabber's previous victims. Instead of haunting him, these murdered boys become his guides, each teaching him a different survival skill or revealing another piece of the basement's secrets. Meanwhile, Gwen's terrifying dreams become more vivid, leading police toward clues that no one can explain. The tension builds as the grabber plays disturbing psychological games with Finney, constantly changing masks to reflect the different personalities while waiting for his victim to lose hope. Every phone call brings Finney one step closer to escape, but only if he can put all the pieces together before it's too late. Now, there's a couple things I want to go over in the middle of the movie here. One was he's obviously playing a game with them because he would deliberately leave the door unlocked. And obviously, when they would come up the steps, he's there waiting on them. And the first time Finn starts to go up the steps, that's when he gets the phone call. And they said, don't go up the steps because that he's going to end up just beating you with a belt. But man, I tell you what was creepy. First off, that mask, kudos to who designed that thing because it was in two pieces. And I think the version of the mask he wore was representative of the mood he was in or what state of mind he was in at that point. You know,
I think
because
so too.
sometimes it would
sometimes
have no
he'd
mouth.
have the top, sometimes it'd be the bottom. But like the mouth, sometimes it'd be a grin, sometimes it'd be a frown.
Sometimes there was no mouth.
Yeah.
So the first time the little boy on the phone tells him don't go up the steps, but he does anyhow. But he goes slow and he's quiet. And when he gets up there, you see him sitting there with no shirt on. Which, sorry, Ethan Hawke, that's not you. That's a body double. No way your chest is that big. You know, you're pulling some Ted Danson stuff on here. You don't have a chest that big, Ethan Hawke. But anyhow,
pounds.
Yeah, that dude probably could bench for 300 pounds, But anyhow,
that was a big dude. If that was a big Ethan Hawke, he's a big dude because that was a big dude in that chair.
Yeah, no disrespect, Ethan Hawke, but that was a body double. But hey, dude sitting there with no shirt on, holding that belt with that mask on was freaking menacing looking. What'd you guys think about that scene?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you weren't, I mean, yeah, he tells him that he's going to be sitting there, but it's different when he walks up the stairs and he turns the corner and he's there. Or I guess he didn't turn the corner on that one. It was the camera panned over to it.
Yeah.
And when that camera pans over to it, I was just like, oh my gosh. Just without a shirt on, I don't know why it made it that much creepier to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because this dude was going to get off on beating him, man.
Yeah.
He was ready, And then that looked like that belt he had looked like one of those barber straps that they would sharpen them old straight blades on. You ever had one of them things?
Yep. My dad used to have one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Did you get your butt whooped with it?
We're not going to talk about that.
Well, even like later on, whenever he gets the call from whichever kid was talking to him and he was saying, he's not been sleeping. And then, that's the kid saying, okay, he's off his routine. And then the grabber is actually coming down and he's talking to him. And he was like, things aren't moving right. And Finn's like, what do you mean they're not moving? And things aren't going according to plan. And then he plays a little bit more mind games with him and tricks him into lying to him, trying to get his name. And he already knew what his name was because he read the newspaper. And then as soon as he lied to him, then he kind of went off and, he was like, yeah, I almost let you go. And then he kind of closes the door again. But he wasn't getting to that next level. He wasn't getting to the level of playing naughty boy with him. Yeah. So because he hadn't got to try to sneak up the stairs yet and got beat with the belt, the grabber, Ethan Hawke, he couldn't move to the next step of his plan. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what, of course, the ghosts that was calling him and talking to him, that's what their plan was, is to delay that so that they could give Finney the tools that he needed.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool. Go ahead, Audrey.
The way they did the ghost, too, because it wasn't constantly there. So some of those were, I think the biggest jump scare for me, I don't remember which one it was, but he answered the phone and he turned around and that kid was like hovering in the air with blood dripping. I jumped.
Yeah.
It got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
the very
cool,
first
man.
time I watched it. That was definitely a jump scare moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect that at all.
Which kid was that? The Korean kid?
No.
No, that
I
was
can't remember.
the kid that was I can't remember what his name was. It was the third kid that he was
Mm.
talking to. It wasn't the paper boy. But it was
See,
I
we
can't
had
remember what it was.
Billy the Paperboy. I know I've got it down here somewhere, but yeah, it wasn't Billy.
You had
I think it was
pinball
Griffin.
guy.
It
I
was
think you're
the
right.
it was the bike, but the bicycle lock boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was he was
Yeah.
the one that was talking about his bicycle lock.
Okay. But anyhow, so I'm guessing the grabber, to me, I'm putting together he was just sadistic. Well, basically, he was wanting to just torture these kids in his own way. And I guess he would do it in levels, like he would start off beating them if they come up the steps. Then he would progress and then he would end up killing them. Is that, you
Yeah.
guys think that's how it would
Yeah,
go?
probably.
It pretty much just beat them to death.
Yeah.
After
Man.
everything was said.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What was the unique thing about this movie, though, is I think it's such a cool concept that to think that the spirit of his past victims are coming through and helping this child escape, so he doesn't have the same fate as theirs.
Mhm.
Kudos to what was the guy's name that wrote this, Daniel? Stephen King's son,
It was Joe Hill.
Joe Hill. Kudos to Joe Hill, man. That's a unique concept, dude. I really enjoyed that.
And Joe Hill was that little boy in Creepshow that had the world's best dad. That's Joe
Oh, no
Hill.
kidding. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that.
Yep, he sure was. Did Joe Hill do part 2, or is it somebody else?
I honestly don't know. This Black Phone is based on a short story. It's not even a book. It's a short story.
Just a short story? God,
Yeah,
wow.
that is included. I have Joe Hill's book of short stories, and Black Phone is in it. Now it may be long enough to be considered a novella.
Yeah.
It goes by word count whenever you start talking books instead of page count. It goes by how many words are in it. So, if you're at 20, 30 something thousand words, you're going to be at novella size, but that's a short story for Stephen King. So,
Well, I think this would be a good time before we break. Well, honestly, let me talk about this real quick. Then we'll jump into whatever Daniel's got in store for us tonight. But I thought it was cool. And, well, I don't want to give away the ending just yet either. But anyhow, I'll just say this, and then we'll jump into trivia. The ghosts are helping him with stuff that you don't really know why they're doing it until it all comes out at the end and you realize, oh, that's why that happened and that's why this happened. So there was a plan from the get-go, which I thought was
Yeah.
very smart, man.
Right.
Yeah, this was a good movie, man.
Because this whole time, I know where you're going with this. This whole time you're going, okay, so, the Korean kid tried to dig under the
Yeah.
floor. So that was how he was going to try to escape. The other kid, he stuffed that rope or that cord or whatever, inside the thing. He was going to try to climb out through the window,
Yeah.
The other kid, he was trying to bust through the wall, and get out and bust through the concrete. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, each one of these kids are going to tell him what they tried so that he can do the same thing. But there's a twist,
Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely. All right, Daniel. So it's just me, Audrey, and Josh tonight going up against you. So how many trivia questions you got for us?
Well, let me count.
I will say, I kept forgetting to take down notes for the trivia because I was so invested in the movie.
Yeah, I was watching the movie.
yeah.
I didn't take
Yeah.
any notes. I was watching the movie.
And
Yeah, same.
there's only maybe 2 questions that I've got that you would actually have to take a note down that you wouldn't normally remember.
Shout
And
out
the
to
rest of them should be pretty straightforward. You either know it or you don't.
Well, let's see what you got, big boy.
So I got 8 questions coming towards you. So here we go with question number 1. First of the movie, where does this movie take place?
Audrey,
Audrey?
North Denver,
Okay. And what year?
1978.
All righty. Give her
Hey,
a
I
point.
was around then.
I was not.
I was not.
I was not yet. I was a few months
What
after
month
that.
is it? What month did you say?
I don't
I
have a
think this
month.
is-
It's just North
It
Denver.
it doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't say, but it does look like it's in the summer. But
I was there.
they're also going to school too. So maybe September or October,
Yeah.
because it's not real cold yet.
Well, they were wearing
Anyway.
jackets like when Gwen
Well,
met.
Yeah, it's
They
also
actually
Denver.
are. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So autumn, maybe.
Maybe, but it's also Denver.
That's true.
That's the true statement. Yeah.
All right, number 2. What movie did Robin tell Finney he saw at the drive-in?
Audrey.
Dang.
Audrey.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Man, she's wiping the floor with you two.
He's so fast too.
Said 2-0 to nothing. She's coming strong, so y'all better get ready. Number 3, who was the first person to call Finney on the black phone? Audrey.
Righty.
Billy.
No, you're wrong.
Oh man.
You're the boss.
I don't have
All
a
right.
clue.
So the
Corky.
first Corky.
The Korean kid.
Okay, do you have a name?
I don't know, but he knows Finn's got a good arm. I know that much.
All right, well,
that's right.
We'll say he's the baseball kid, so I'll give you the point for that. His name is Bruce Yamada.
Bruce.
Bruce. Okay.
Bruce. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Question
Horrible
number 4.
names.
What did Bruce say to Finney several times?
Audrey.
Audrey,
Your arm is mint.
your arm is mint. You almost had me. Good job.
Okay.
Wow.
Man, y'all ain't gonna catch her.
No.
This
Dang it,
is
man.
Now, this is where you need the note. Here's where you need to take the note. No, you ain't. What were the numbers that the bike lock boy told Finney? What's the
Corky.
combination?
Oh
Corky.
man.
7:33:21.
You are nowhere close.
I know 33's in there.
33 is in there.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it right, but I think it was 7:33 something or something. I know the sevens were in there somewhere. Or 27 maybe.
A 7 is in it.
Is it
A
27?
33 is in it.
27:33.
It's either 12 or 21.
No. Josh, you're the only person left in play.
I don't have a clue.
And Josh doesn't have a clue. The bike lock, the numbers that were written across the wall that Finney had to figure out was 23317.
Oh, man. I wasn't nowhere
Yeah.
close.
No,
Yeah.
I told you. Okay, this is the other one that you had to take the note on. What was the house number where Finney was held? Gwen had
I
a dream
swear,
about it.
Looked at this and I said,
Audrey.
write this down.
Audrey.
Audrey.
Well, I may be wrong because I don't think this is the one he was held. This is where the bodies were buried, but 7741.
Okay, that's where the bodies were, but the one that he was held at.
I don't have that one.
7740.
No. Which is, it actually, for it being across the street, I don't get that number, but
I don't
Okay.
either. I just guessing.
Josh?
7743.
No. So the house number that Finney was held at right across the street, Gwen saw it in her dream, and it was 1241.
Makes no
Oh,
sense.
Right.
Okay.
I was nowhere
No
near
sense at all.
that.
It threw me off too. I was looking at it going, nah, I don't get that. But anyway, all right, 2 questions left. I don't think that you can catch Audrey.
No, I think this is just honorable mention right here.
Yeah, this is
Mhm.
honorable mention at this point. How many total kids talked to Finney on the
Josh.
black phone? Josh.
5.
5 is correct. Can you name them just for cracks and giggles?
No, I can't. I'm awful with names.
I think I could get 4.
You could get 4 out of 5. Corky,
Yeah.
can you do more than that?
Dude, I know Bruce. That's it.
God.
And-
Okay, Audrey.
And pinball, dude.
So we had
Give-
Bruce. We
Okay.
had Billy or Paperboy.
Yeah.
We had, what was his name? I think Vance Hopper or something like that.
Yeah. It was Pinball Boy.
And then there was Griffin, but I don't remember his whole name.
He's only said it once, and I can't remember what he said, but he's the bike lock boy, so you got
Yeah.
one more. You got one more. In my opinion, the last one that you've got is the easiest one.
Oh, we already said Bruce. Just kidding. I don't know. Who am I missing?
Billy's. Billy in there.
I remember.
That was
She said
Paperboy.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy
did she?
Paperboy. We had Bruce. We had Vance. I know I'm missing one. Who am I missing?
You got Bruce as the baseball boy, and then you got Billy as the paper boy. You got Griffin as the bike lock boy. Vance is the pinball boy. So the easiest one, or at least for me, the first one that I said was Robin.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Robin.
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 Yeah.
Yep, Robin.
He was the best friend.
Yep.
So there's 5. Last
Hmm.
question. throw this out there. What was the name of the dog?
Audrey.
Audrey?
Right.
Samson.
Samson is correct. Bro, she straight smoked y'all tonight.
Golly.
God.
I didn't even get a point, man.
Man, you didn't. You didn't answer squat. Golly, it's like you talking to trash or something. God.
First off, I'm going to fight all you guys. Let one of y'all get starstruck, and the next time we do one of these things, and I'm going to be there to make fun of y'all. Just know it. I can't help it. What are you supposed to say to somebody that's in a movie you've watched since a kid? You know,
I loved you in that movie.
and then your wife is behind you trying to coach you like your mother or something.
You know, that was hilarious. Alicia's like, well, tell her what you do.
No,
And then you like podcast.
we talk about scary movies.
We talk about scary movies.
Yeah, I will.
Were you
I will
like
never
holding your
live that
hands
down.
funny and like
Bro,
kicking the ground and stuff too?
It's hilarious. Loved it.
I hate you guys. I hate
Man.
everyone.
You got to get. I'm having Alicia retell me the story tomorrow just so I can laugh some more. Just so
He's
I
gonna
can
text
laugh
her.
some more.
So I'm having a bad day. I need the Corky Meets Trash story.
I need you to tell me the Corgi Meets Trash story, please. Thank you.
I'm glad
need
I
to
can
pick
be
me
here
up.
for you guys' amusement, man. I'm glad I can be. Appreciate that. But you know, I haven't met many celebrities in my life. There was the one time I was at the dollar store in Inglewood and Kenny Chesney was in there. But you know,
Okay.
yeah,
Kenny Chesney was in the dollar store in Inglewood?
yeah. So
That is insane. Okay.
I'll tell Audrey and Josh this little quick story. You guys know who Kenny Chesney is, right? Well, he's from Knoxville, that's where you were at in Alcoa, right next to Knoxville. So he used to date our 8th grade English teacher's daughter, right? They went to school together.
Are you serious?
You didn't know? Am I telling everybody this story now? So
Bro,
anyhow,
I didn't know he dated her.
Miss Cochran's daughter, he dated her in college, and they're still good friends to this day. So one day I'm going to the dollar store to pick up something, and I walk in there, and Neil Cochran's standing there with this bald-headed, skinny guy. And I looked at Neil, I said, "What's up?" And I just left. When I went outside, I was like, whoa, that was freaking Kenny Chesney.
Yeah,
and
I don't
sure
know if I
enough,
would recognize him without a cowboy hat.
no, he didn't have a hat on. That's what got me. And he's bald-headed without that hat on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hollered at Neil there a few days later, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I can't believe you didn't stop and talk to him." I'm like, I didn't know it was him until I got outside. But yeah, Kenny Chesney was in the dollar store in Inglewood buying some chips or something. They was having a cookout up there at their house.
Well, you know, Kane from the WWE just toured Denzo yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cool. They
kinda
had a couple of the engineers had met him during the tour, and super nice guy. They said sent me a couple of pictures. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. But that's what I'm saying though. I don't have much experience in meeting celebrities, and when I met Trash, I didn't know what to do with myself. You ever seen that video? What's the movie with
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, where he's talking and he doesn't know what to do with his hands. That's kind of what I was standing there, and Alicia's behind me, and she's talking to me, and I'm like, you know. And then she's, tell her this, tell her that. And I'm like, okay. And at that point, I was in fight or flight mode. I just wanted to get out of there because I was so scared, But
Man,
yeah.
I tell you what, when I met Brian Brimmer, dude, I could have sit and talked to that dude all day. He was so awesome.
Yeah, Audrey and Josh met him
Yeah.
too. I didn't run into him in there.
Yeah.
He was such a cool dude.
It's very welcoming because, like I said, we didn't even approach him. He approached us.
Yeah.
And it was like he's known us forever. He was just like, "Hey, you're with Remember That," and just started
Yeah.
having a
That's
discussion.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's awesome to get that kind of engagement, ain't it, Daniel?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
it's also really
It
cool
is
for
when you
him
can
to
get that kind of
remember-
engagement.
And it's also cool for him to remember that conversation with you too, and recognize us.
Yeah.
Well, you know what stole the show Saturday was our shirts.
Mhm.
Oh,
Everybody
definitely.
commented on those shirts, man.
Yeah, when we're like 9 of us, we were 9 strong. We go rolling up in there, and everybody's going, okay, these people, I don't know I don't know what Remember That podcast is, but these people mean business. Look
They're
at
like
them.
they're like a cult walking around up here.
Look at them buying stuff. Wow.
We might have actually been able to sell a couple of shirts if we'd had any.
Yeah.
We probably could have. Maybe we'll work on that for next time.
I would have just accepted like cards and stuff. If we would have just had cards stand out, I'm like, hey man, check this out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Come
is
on
it
our podcast, talk to us.
Brian Bremer? Was that his name, Daniel?
Brian Bremer. He played Bunt from Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
He's also been in a couple of other horror movies and whatnot, but I know him most from playing Bunt. And he was just like, his whole character in Pumpkinhead was just like this creepy, he was kind of like the older brother to all of his younger siblings and stuff. And he had that weird rhyme about, and he had like a Southern accent in it too, talking about Pumpkinhead and stuff. And it was just creepy, man. It was cool. It's good stuff.
Well, I'll say this, Brian, if you're out there, man. Yeah, Brian, if you're out there, man, answer our email, buddy. We're excited to get you on the show. I may have to email him again because it might have got lost in the mix of his emails.
Yeah, man, we'll have to hit him up again because he
again.
seemed like he was very interested in coming on talking to us, and I'm super excited to have him.
Yeah, me too.
So, Audrey, next week you're in charge of trivia.
What are we doing next week?
I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get done here. Something cool. How about that?
All right.
Something cool.
Something that's not hot because I'm hot right now. Usually it's cold back here in this room, but it is even hot right now.
Oh yeah,
Man,
it's
it's hot.
too.
And see, since we
is
record in the
stifling.
laundry room, I was home all day doing laundry, so it's like extra hot and humid in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Golly,
Man, it's stifling in here. I've got the door closed in the
Stifling.
podcast room. I got the door closed and there ain't no air moving in here. And golly bum, it's hot.
Yeah, it sucks, man. But I digress. You guys ready to break down the end of this movie?
Shoot, yeah, man.
All right, here we go. The final act delivers an incredibly satisfying payoff as everything the Ghost Boys taught Finney comes together. Using every lesson, every hidden tool, and every ounce of courage, Finney turns his basement into a trap for his captor instead of remaining his victim. In a tense confrontation, he finally faces the grabber and defeats him using the knowledge passed down through the spirits of the murdered children. At the same time, Gwen's visions lead authorities to the correct location just moments too late to stop the fight, but in time to find Finney alive. The film closes on a hopeful note as Finney emerges stronger, more confident, and finally free from both his captor and the fear that had controlled his life. So that's what I was talking about before we got into trivia. You wonder why he takes the rope and ties it to the bars, and the bars fall down, and he goes and throws the bars in the hole that he was digging. And I'm like, well, he's just trying to hide that so he doesn't get caught trying to escape or whatever. But all this comes together. He takes the rope. He makes a thing that trips him. And as he trips, he falls into the hole that he dug. And as he falls into the hole that he dug, he lands on that grate, which turns his ankle, breaks his ankle. All that came together, man. And I thought it was cool, man. What you guys
And
think?
then Robin showed him how to use the phone. He packed the dirt into the phone receiver, and then he told him, take one lunge forward, one lunge back, and then come in for the swing. And that was timing to throw the grabber off,
Right.
because he was going to be in the hole, and it worked. He sit there and beat the crap out of him for several seconds with the phone using that, and then he had the dog down there, Samson, and he was guarding the door. The chain let him go as far as the door. And go ahead.
Where did he get the steak from?
Yeah, where did
that's
that steak
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So the pinball kid told him, I busted a big old chunk out of this wall. He said he just fixed it. It's still, you can knock it around and knock some of that loose. And on the other side of it is a freezer. And so he ended up opening the back of that freezer and getting the steak out of the back of that freezer. Yeah.
I missed
and
that
he
part.
threw it as a diversion for the dog. So the dog went after the steak, and that's how he was able to get out of the basement.
And that dog was beautiful.
Yeah,
It was. That was
Beautiful.
a Cane Corso, wasn't it?
Yes,
Something like that.
yes.
That sucker was awesome. But yeah, man, I thought the ending was great. I thought it was just. I thought dude got what he deserved. It's always good when the kid gets kidnapped, and we get a happy ending with that because he gets to go back home. I
Yeah.
liked the movie. I liked the ending. I liked everything about it, man. What's
did
you
too.
guys' closing thoughts on it?
I agree. I am not even gonna lie. I teared up at the end because I was just
Yeah.
so happy they got back to,
Yeah.
got back to together. So
Yeah, that moment where him and his sister finally get to
Yeah.
embrace each other. I mean, that was a very heartfelt moment,
Yeah.
and you felt the closure of it at that moment. It was great.
yeah.
Yeah.
A great movie.
I like
Awesome movie.
movies. I like movies where the people that are being victimized are able to turn the tables on the people that are
Yeah. Yeah.
messing with them. I like that. It's almost like a immediate revenge story, you know. And I
Yeah.
really, I'm into revenge stories, but anything to where the victim can turn the tables on their captors, that's right up my alley.
Yep.
And the way that Joe Hill wrote this story, it was like we were talking about before. It was just super unique in the way that he used his characters. He used these ghosts to come back, and each one of them had their own kind of deal and run-ins with the grabber, but each one of them are showing him how to make another part of this trap in order to help him escape.
Yeah, man. Thought it was brilliant, man. I thought it was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I'm anxious to see what we're going to rank this one, man, because I think it's got to have a certain score because it was a good movie. But then again, it can't be too high. I don't know. I'm just anxious to see how this one's going to turn out. And we're missing Cade tonight, so we're going to be down one number. So I'm anxious to see how this thing's going to turn out. So
Well, on the average, us four we'll have the same average as long as we're not way skewed.
yeah.
We should be all right.
All right. Well, let's just jump into it. Audrey, I'll start with you. What you gonna rate Black Phone?
So I honestly think this is a new, I don't know if I would watch it routinely just because some of the scenes are so intense, but it's definitely one that I'm going to revisit and continue to watch. I really enjoyed it. Again, the kids' performance in that movie, I can't get over how well they did. I love the feel good feeling at the end. It's totally unique. I'm gonna have to give it an 8.
Ooh, an 8. I like it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Literally. Josh, what you gonna give it?
So for me, this movie really, really tugged at my heartstrings. I mean, I hate seeing any kind of child abuse, but I understood where it was leading into the story. And it just drove this movie to a totally different level. And then the grabber, I mean, his character was just intense.
Yeah, he really
Even though
was.
he really wasn't that intense, just the scene where he was sitting in that chair and he was just sitting there with his shirt off, staring at that door was just the craziest thing you could ever imagine. Just waiting
Yeah.
for that moment. It was sick, and I loved it. Not in a good way, but I mean, it was
It
was
done
just
its
such a great.
job.
It
Yeah.
did, yeah. So I'm gonna have to say I think I want to give it a 9.
There we go. There we go.
That's awesome.
All right. So we got 8 and 9. Daniel, what are you gonna give it?
All right. Well, I always use my little criteria block here, and I had to change the cultural significance to a uniqueness category for this one because this movie is not very old. I do think that it will be culturally significant in the future with other movies that come out. But the uniqueness of this movie was off the chart. Like, you don't see a lot of movies like this. This isn't a carbon copy of anything or any kind of remake of anything. And you really don't see unique stuff, brand new stuff brought to the table anymore. The music and special effects and my overall enjoyment were top notch. I've seen this movie. I think this was the 6th or 7th time that I've seen this movie this morning. So it gets a 10 from me. This will be number 210.
Oh, really?
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So this is the second 10 that I've given out.
Okay. Well, I'll jump on in here. So what we got? An 8, 9, and a 10 now. So, and I'll tell you, man, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I give this movie, I'm going to give it a 9 because it was just good. It was good. I love the story.
Yeah.
It was a horror movie that was different. And that's what
Yeah.
I enjoyed about it, man. It was a different take. It hadn't been done before other than the freaking Dazed and Confused scene I talked about earlier. But hey, what can you do? It's the 70s, you know. But anyhow, I thought it was a unique take on horror. It was a new idea, and I got to give kudos to that. Great idea, great movie, filmed well. Everything was good about it. and you know they didn't show there wasn't a lot of like blood and gore and stuff like that. You know, so it didn't need it. So you know, I'm gonna give it a 8. What did I say? 8, 8, 8, 9, 8,
A
9, 8, 9.
9.
No,
You
I'm
said
gonna give it a
9.
9. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's got to be a 9. So what's that average out to, Daniel?
A 9.
A
Yeah.
9.
We got
All
an
right.
8,
like
2
it.
9s, and a 10's going to average to a 9.
All right. Well, anybody got any closing thoughts before we shut her down for this week?
I believe so. I think
All
I
right.
left it all on the table. You guys need to see Black Phone 2, though. It's seriously good.
Hey, look,
It
I got popcorn in the microwave right now, baby. It's about to go
so
down.
Bree likes Black Phone 2 probably better than the first one. I still like the first one a little bit better, but man, 2 is still super good, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. It's going to be good. Well, you heard it there, guys. Black Phone gets a 9 out of 10 from the Remember That crew. You know what? Guess what? I just remembered, y'all. I didn't introduce a single soul, and none of y'all reminded me.
I don't have a sign sitting in front of me to introduce people.
I got one right here, and it
Like
didn't
you do.
even matter.
I know. God.
Well, let me close it out like this. So for Audrey, Josh, Daniel, and Corky, thank you for joining us this week. Black Phone gets a 9 out of 10. We highly recommend it. And until next week, we'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
See you. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.
Problem